Hey, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel, whatever the case may be. Um, it's about damn time, right? I've only had this pedal for like a week and been meaning to do this. I know there's dozens of videos out there now, but yeah, I wanted to still put something out here to review this pedal that I got last week, and I don't know, maybe it'll help somebody out, maybe not. Appreciate you watching either way. So I said in the last video that I don't use pedals really at all. I might go into more depth on that on a future video when, when I kind of go through the plugins that I use now. But bottom line, it's what I will affectionately term as the Mongolian barbecue effect. Now, what do I mean by that? Um, there's a restaurant that a lot of you have probably been to. Maybe you haven't or have heard of it. It's called BD's Mongolian Barbecue, and it's sort of a not a self-service so much, but basically what you do is you walk in, you get your meat. They have a selection of meats there that you can choose. Um, you get your vegetables you want with that, your spices, etc., etc. And you get in line, you take those up, and they've got a giant circular grill up at the front with a couple or three guys there, cooking. And they take your plate from you, and they dump it on the grill, and they cook it. Whatever you give them, they cook it. So, first time I was ever there, we went there as a family, and I did my thing. I picked a meat that I liked. I was like, I like these toppings. I like these spices. And got there, gave it to them. They cooked it. Looked fantastic. It wasn't. It was not fantastic. It was not fantastic at all. I think I realized that I'm not a chef, and I'm not a chef for a reason. And it's an interesting concept as a restaurant because I don't think a lot of people are chefs. Now, I'll give my wife a ton of credit because she is fantastic with doing things like that. And the next time we went, I kind of let her take over for me, and it was terrific. But yeah, I kind of find that with a lot of things. I've taken up a handful of hobbies over the years. I'll use mountain biking for an example. And the same with the Mongolian barbecue, where it's like I had all these toppings, and it's like, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. Apparently, I don't like them all together, or at least not in that ratio. When I was mountain biking, you had tire pressure, you had a full suspension bike, so you had um, air pressure, and then you had your compression rate, and you had your rebound rate and stiffness, and all these different things, and the way they all play together. Now I got into remote control cars for a while, right before the pandemic happened, and it was kind of the same thing. Those little things have a lot of adjustability. At that level, you've got your spring rate and height and your toe and your camber and just all kinds of different things that all interact with each other to do different things. And just because you have one aspect set right, something else can affect that. And when you change that, that's negatively affected what you thought you already had right. And to me, it's kind of the same with effects. Whether it's just distortion, you've got your gain and your EQs and your presence and your depth and etc. And then you move on to choruses and reverbs, and I've gone, and used, I don't know whether it's the line 6, the head rush, whatever it may be, and I'll try to build something that I like, and I think sometimes it can get too complex, and it's like, oh, I like reverb, I like chorus, I like a little delay, I like this and that, and then you start playing with everything, and then it just doesn't quite sound right, so you change one thing, but now that's impacted something else, and it's just, on and on and on. So I'm rambling, but I think you guys get the idea, and it's just, I don't know, my stupid self, I've never taken the time to really sit down. Admittedly, not saying right or wrong, it's definitely more wrong than right, but I've never taken the time to really understand how all that works with each other. And quite frankly, with time constraints and everything else, I know what I like, so I tend to just gravitate towards, products that have some preset options. Maybe I'll tweak one a little bit, but I like to find something that has at least a really good, strong starting point of usable effects for me. So, like I said, that said, I've just never gotten into a lot of pedals. I know there's people out there that can use them very, very effectively. I've seen giant pedal boards used very well, and I give all the credit in the world to those people. That's not this guy. So that being said, let me get to this pedal because I love this one. I bought it basically because it was Ola's new pedal, to be perfectly honest with you. I loved my Solar guitar. They said they released a pedal. Basically, I said I gotta have it. It looked great. I figured it would probably sound good. No idea if I was ever going to use it. I mean, I've got a great tube screamer just sitting in the box that I don't use anymore. And I realized, this may end up being nothing more than a collector's item for me, but I got it anyway. Got here a week ago. I've taken forever to get this video. So my initial thoughts, I unboxed it. The build quality, like I mentioned, is fantastic. It's full metal construction. It's solid. It looks great. The button is really solid. The knobs are great. They not too stiff, not too loose. I don't know. But if I had to nitpick anything, it would be two things. Number one, I mentioned in the unboxing, and as you've seen in other videos, the knobs are all stepped. So there's a smaller knob, a bigger knob. The middle ones, that's all one knob. But on the outside ones, those are actually two separate knobs that control different functions. And I find that one knob can, to a small degree, move the other knob. So, for example, if you've got your treble set just where you want it and you're playing around with that presence control, just watch it. It may move the treble a little bit. It's nothing excessive, but it's there, and I think it's probably to be expected. But my fat fingers, just trying to make sure I hold one steady and move the other one, not a huge deal, but just be aware. And then the other thing, and I don't know, it's not really a nitpick and not necessarily anything I would change, but just, I guess, be aware. I mean, there's a small indentation on the knob, just like a very small pinpoint indentation to kind of let you know where that knob is set at. Because the knobs are black, because they're kind of glossy, you've really got to have some good lighting. Otherwise, it's kind of difficult to tell where they're at. Now, part of that is just my old ass eyes that can't hardly see anything. But I have seen already that there has been some people that have, painted a little dot on there or, used a silver Sharpie or something like that, to kind of help more clearly and quickly identify where those knobs are set at. And that's not a bad idea. I'm debating it. I like the aesthetics of how the pedal looks. So I don't know. I'm not one to play around with it much. So yeah, I messed around with this thing for, 10 or 15 minutes. I dialed in what I thought was a pretty nice sound, and I've just left it there the whole time. I've really used almost nothing but this pedal. I've got a few songs coming up that are going to use pretty much just this pedal. I love the way it sounds. So on that note, let's get to how it sounds. What I'm going to do, I'll just kind of tell you how I'm running it, play a little bit. I may scroll through my playlist here real quick and play it in the mix of a couple songs just so you can kind of hear it that way. So yeah, I am running, first of all, Solar guitar. Got to use a Solar guitar through a Solar pedal. My A2.6 AG. If you didn't see the review video on that, check it out. Fantastic guitar, amazing bang for the buck. I love the simplicity of a single pickup and just a volume knob. Love it. So I'm running out of this directly in the pedal. And then out of the pedal into my audio interface, which is the Focusrite Scarlett, which is a terrific value. And then that's, of course, connected to my computer, and then running into my camera. So that's really about it. I mean, I just literally right in front of my audio interface. So the bass amp that I'm using, I guess, is the Neural DSP plugins. It's the Archetype Petrucci plugin, which is what I'm using for just about everything these days. So they've got 4 different amps in that one. They've got their acoustic amp, a clean amp, kind of a crunch, moderate drive amp, and then their heavy overdrive amp. So this is the clean amp, and I'm using that, and it's literally everything is just dead center. I've got it, everything, bass, mid, treble, presence, everything is just right in the center. So excuse the guitar if it hopefully is mostly in tune. I'm not running through my nice tuner right now, so I had to use a clip on. So, but anyway, just a very basic, nothing special, dry, clean tone. So what you hear is going to be the pedal, and that's pretty much it. So I guess without further ado, I will mention the pedal is fairly quiet with the noise gate on. It's actually really quiet. The noise gate's fantastic. It's one of the best I've used. It's deadens me. I don't know if it'll pick it up on the camera, but I definitely have some noise in my system. Hopefully you can hear that picked that up. Yeah, and the noise gate is not by any means all the way up. And it cancels all that hum, but still it doesn't affect your palm muting, things like that, if that makes sense. I've had some noise gates that can not be as high quality and can really affect the quality of like a palm mute and some of those little chugs and stuff. So I've been really happy with this one. But yeah, I mean, the pedal itself, yeah, like I said, you can still get that really low chug on there. I love the depth control on that. I think that's what really did it for me, is it just adds that dimension to the sound. Real quick, I'm going to flip to, this is, sorry, I had a phone call coming in. This is the sound I've typically been using without the pedal. So that's what I've been using for a lot of my recent videos, and then this is the chug pedal again. Godsmack for you. Not with the mix, because they'll block it. All right. Yeah, but like I said, I tweaked around with it for about 10-15 minutes, and that's what I came up with. And honestly, I haven't hardly played anything since, and I've almost been afraid to change it because I like how it sounds so much. Real quick, I don't know, let's see. I'm in drop D. I don't have the pitch shift all the way down, so this one will be an octave higher technically, but give you a little indication of this pedal in the mix. Yeah, man, I like that. Oh, what else do I have readily queued up and drop? D. Oh, Hailstorm.
Oh, Mr. Misery. I've been a mess since yesterday.
So yeah, that's. Yeah, that's it. I like that a lot. Everyone's got a different taste. Everyone's got a different ear. Everyone plays a different style, so that may not be your cup of tea. I've probably watched a dozen of these videos already anyway, and just, want to see what some schmuck like me can do with it. So there you go. If you think it sounds good and you want to know where I've got everything set, I certainly would be happy to tell you. I love it. I like it. I mean, I've actually been surprised how much I like it. So I don't use pedals. I think I am now. I mean, this is all I've used for the last week. Really, I haven't used my normal effects that I would. It just sounds really good. So the next few songs will be recorded with this. I got a few coming out this coming week. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I did, this again, running it through my Solar with just the Duncan Solar passive pickup in it. I did run it through my not EMGs, my Schecter Evil Twin with the Fishman Fluence Moderns in it, and that sounded really good. Not really much different. It's terrific. I also played it through my Kiesel. I've got a multi-scale 7-string, so it's tuned down to G sharp right now, and it's got their Polarity active pickups in it. So the combination of the active pickups, the low tuning, sounded fantastic too. Didn't muddy it up. The Petrucci plugin also has a pitch shifter, a transpose function on it. I've lowered it as many as 7 semitones, and it still sounds good. I mean, with any pitch shifter, drop tuning, etc., it's not going to pick up the low, subtle palm mutes as well. But when you're playing open, it sounds fantastic. So yeah, really all around solid, and that's what I was hoping for. I mean, the build quality is great. I was anxious with the number of different effects and options it had on it, that it was going to be what I was looking for to dial in the sound that I want, and it is. You can have all the options in the world, but if it's not quality electronics, if the knobs don't do what you expect them to do, if they don't do what they're supposed to do, if it's not quality sound, it doesn't matter. You can put all the bells and whistles on it you want, but I think Solar has done a fantastic job of really putting together a pedal that does do what it's supposed to do. I mean, you can watch Ola's original video. I mean, that it really goes through every option in depth, and he goes knob by knob and shows you what it does, and it's terrific. And then you can watch videos like this and see what some schmuck has dialed in, for his personal tone. So I like it. That's the bottom line. I'll shut up now. Like I said, I've got some videos coming up. I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, you're a hero. God bless you. I don't know how you did it, but subscribe if you would, if you haven't already. That definitely helps out. Hit the like button at least. That definitely helps. I've got some more videos coming up. I said a number of playthroughs that I'm getting ready to record in the next day or two. It'll be coming out. So Appreciate it. And until next time, let me know if I can answer any questions. Certainly will try and do so. Thanks, guys.